All right, guys. So I've recently released the trailer for the A Fight for All sequel series, in which I am going to type the brand new date that it was released, which was today. It finally released today. And today I'm going to be breaking it down for you guys. And I'm even going to tell you the new improved date because I have exams for college coming up. So I can't do April 30th because that's exactly the day where all of them happen. So turns out you guys are actually be getting it a lot sooner than even I thought. So lucky you guys, huh? But today I'm going to be talking about why the trailer went out as it did. Now I'm going to start with the very first thing. Since I was living in luxury with Catherine, means basically I had enough money by the end of the third, near half third century I was alive. I have enough money to buy not only buy a new place, but live there for the rest of my life, basically. 1.3 billion credits, 13 million square feet in total, and I retired from the military, basically. But it seems as multiple cars right up to the house, and those cars are military. Those guys are coming back. Either that, or they're special forces, or they're special agents of some sort. Meaning is, they don't want me to be in the armed forces, but they want me to still do something for the government. The next scene that opens up is I pull out the LP4, the basically the I wouldn't say rip-off version of Desert Eagle because it's a bit stronger, but basically Desert Eagle 2.0, and I blast someone. None of you know, but the only hit you get is the dog tag that he had in his hand that read Sergeant Colin Judkins. So a lot of people have been saying maybe that was Colin, or maybe that was someone who killed Colin. I'm not going to say nothing, but the theories that have been coming out with just those two scenes alone is amazing. And then you have the third scene, a massive battle over the city, a massive battle over a major city with United Planets and the Interstellar Empire, duking ships, duking it out. And then you hear a familiar voice that a lot of people should be able to recognize. He will pay for what he did to Colin, I'm sure of it. Oh shit. So now you know someone is pissed at someone else for hurting Colin. I'm not going to say who would be angry because people think it's pretty clear, but yet again, this is only a fraction of what the story is going to be about. So not many of you are actually going to be able to guess it properly, if any do. And then you have the fourth scene pop up, which is where I was commanding forces on the ground. When a fighter crashes next to me, dirt flies into the spectacle view, and now it switches to fight scenes. I get slammed to the ground. I slam someone on the ground. I get launched back, and I punch the figure as the scene turns next. It shows me my retractable shield, 12-inch blade, but I go in for a slice as the dude's blasting me with energy. The second to final scene. This is where everyone went crazy. It shows a memorial to a fallen soldier with the coat of arms that was laid in a 21 gun salute. Catherine and many others would be crying and sobbing over the mysterious. What that means is that someone in the Judkins family is dead. Oh yeah, when I told you guys I wasn't gonna hold back, I'm not holding back no more. People gonna die. That's facts now. And then it says his war, his legacy is far from over. I will continue it if I must. And here's the problem: you don't know who that is. Everyone has been saying it's Colin, it's Carson, it's Catherine. There's so many different people, even Chelsea. You can't pinpoint where you can't. I made it so you cannot physically pinpoint who is saying that message. And the last scene fades away with the words echoing throughout the minds of the people. So, what I'm saying with that trailer is this: someone's gonna die, and someone's gonna have a really tough time at trying to kill me or attack what they think they're going to attack. The trailer is only a handful, but I plan on creating and making the brand second trailer, which is going to give you more information. I'm going to send it in chat. This is going to be dates. April 7th, or 8 days from now, I am going to be creating a second trailer. So if you guys don't know much about the Fight for All series, go read it before you even try reading the sequel shit because you're probably not going to understand it. But I'm going to be discussing not just that, but the sequel war today. So it's not just the trailer, but it's just the sequel war in general. And I've seen a lot of people comments like, why was there a pandemic and why was there massive economic destruction to a handful of countries? And I'll tell you why. Because those countries didn't prepare enough to fend for themselves. Seem familiar? I made that with the use of in real life's COVID 19 and the economic impacts in the United States. Not to a T, but I used that as a persuasive writing technique. And now, one of the countries, the Interstellar Empire, recently gained a brand new dictator, and now he is going to be the next antagonist. Or so you say. But you see, that's the problem. Cody is not going to be the protagonist. He's the antagonist. That's the problem. He is going to be the antagonist. I've said this before. Someone in their family is going to die. But the Interstellar Empire is going to be the main antagonist. Why I say the main? They're much more powerful than just one man. I mean, come on. It makes a lot of sense. But the fact that this has been planned for nearly a month now, and I've finally been able to get the trailer and get all the lore right. So now I've led it up to here. And now we have to talk about the Vertigo. So people have been asking me who the hell is Shram and Sangvis or Sangvi or Sangva. I'm gonna say Sangva because I need my accent. But Sangva and Shram, both of them were presumed special forces agents for the United Planets. But in reality, that's far from the truth. The only thing I'm not even going to tell their real names, but I'm going to say they are mercenaries from Earth. And if you know where Shram and Sangva comes from, look it down in the comments because a lot of people may not understand where that comes from. Looking at you, Troopman. Black Cop, I'm looking at you. Now, I'm going to be discussing that too because people need to understand that that is the sequence that leads up to the 200 years of peace. That is the last fight that has to be taken before the year 200 years of peace and the United Planets expands, the United Planets gains territory. Like I said in the upcoming war that was for the sequel that led up to the sequel, the United Planets is now an 800 planet nation. It has 47 billion people now, and it's still trying to get as many resources and is basically making people's lives as good as they can. So basically, there's going to be a ton of nations, a ton of people, and now there's also going to be a brand new character by the name 3 seconds a second. Why he's not Junior? Because he's not the next one in line. But Cody the second, he is going to be important, but he's also going to be one of the best protagonists that we get because this man is 6'7", 6'7". and 335 pounds. I want this man to be powerful, but he's probably not going to be anywhere near as powerful as his great grandfather. Come on, let's face it. He's a fucking super soldier in comparison to a giant human. It's not going to work. But I want Cody the Second to be incredibly useful in the story. He is going to be a big, big dude. And I want him to be the exact way as his father, along with his grandfather and his great grandfather. He's got the Judkins blood in him, but it's a matter of what he does with his bloodline that matters. So people have also been making theories that he is going to be a brand new protagonist. The only thing I'm going to say is yes, he is. He's going to be a brand new protagonist at some point. So he is going to have the main story revolve around his actions. And that's going to be a pretty big importance. I'm not going to have two, I might have two points of view because Cody would be the antagonist. He's evil by most people's standards, but in reality, he's just trying to get by, getting to do things, while Cody the Second is just trying his best to not become evil in a sense. This story is going to have a big twist and turns all over the place. And another theory that has been brought up is Colin's dead. You'll find out, but I highly doubt he is going to be the one that's going to die. I highly doubt it. Here's why I say this. Colin is on the ground. He can't. You're like, well, he could be dead. There's no. I didn't say there was any blood coming from him. Meaning is he's probably unconscious, so he wouldn't be dead in a sense. So the question remains: who's dead? I'll let you guys answer that for yourselves. I want to see some more theories in the comments. I do want to see that because I really love to see all you guys' theories. But other than that, the story is basically complete for now. When April 14th and April 7th come along, that's when you're going to finally see more to the story. You're finally going to see all of the stuff that was talked about, that was hyped up, and it's all going to come to a head with April 14th. It's not going to be any closer because April 14th is ironically the best day, other than what I thought it was the best day, because I didn't know my exams were on April 30th. But April 14th, that's even before they start studying for exams. So it gives me plenty of time to at least get a few parts of the series in before I have to start studying, and it's probably not going to be as many stories. You're probably going to do all that. But if I've answered all your questions and you're going to start theorizing, go right ahead because it might give me an idea or two on how I also could continue other characters and plot. And a lot of people really love the OG character, which is Cody. He's an OG character, but the problem is even the OG characters need to die eventually. So gotta keep that in mind, guys. He will die eventually. It's just a matter of when. Same thing with Cody the Second, but for him it'll take a lot longer because he's barely 19, while his own great grandfather is like nearly 350 years old. Humans can live like 1,100 years. They don't use life expectancy as we do because it's stupid. You could die at 40 years old and that drops the life expectancy. It's stupid. So life expectancy should just be about how long they expect you to live, not how long the average person lives. So that's how they use it in the United Planets. Life expectancy, they expect you to live 1,100 years. So people get to live a lot longer lives in the galaxy than people on Earth by much, like 12 times at least. But that gives a lot of context. That means these events are happening over hundreds of years, meaning is Earth at this time is either destroyed or completely gone off the radar, or they could be an interplanetary empire like the UNSC. Who knows? We really can't say for certain because we've not been there yet. But that's going to be it for my talk today. The trailer is finally out. Go see it if you haven't already. Most importantly, if you do like what I'm doing, especially like the sequel coming in to the Fight for All series, please, please say what I'm about to put in the final part of the live chat. That, put that in chat because we need this to get more attention. The more attention it gets, the more people that'll support it, and the more people that support it, the more times I'll be able to produce this stuff for you. Take care. And most importantly, read that trailer.